Okay, so in this tutorial video, we're going to talk about how to set up for a basketball game in production truck. Again, at this point, you should have all your video pulling just fine, and you have video image up here. Make sure you have your audio coming through the board here. Once you have that set, again, we covered that in a previous tutorial video, you can get into setting up your graphics for the basketball game. One sec here. Here we go. So it's a lot simpler for basketball than it is for a hockey game for a couple of reasons. We are going to open up first specifically the basketball stuff. So right now we have it filtered for any section. We want to filter for basketball. If you haven't opened it previously on the computer you're working on, you're going to need to go up to the download tab. Use the scoreboard flat design #1. Use the control panel. And these are kind of the two essential pieces. So we're going to cover a few other optional ones. Get these two in first. These are two that you will need to use. Third one will be the image overlay specific to the school that you're at. So we'll search for image overlay. This one you want to filter under any section. It's not necessarily a basketball specific one. If we're doing a basketball game in Shakopee, we're going to pull up that image overlay queue here. So these are kind of the three that you need. Again, we've talked about this in previous tutorial videos for other sports. The control panel tab is not a graphic in of itself. If you drag it over here, nothing happens. You can clear this tab. It's not showing up. You actually drag the scoreboard pane over to this frame. Use overlay to lay it on up there. Clear to wipe it. This is the actual score bug that you're going to be working with. So things in the scoreboard pane that you can actually edit. You can, tell it to make sure you have your logos showing up for the teams. Add Vile and Wild scoreboard to the top if that is one of the sponsors of one of the schools you're broadcasting from. Most of it you're going to be controlling within the control panel itself. So we'll go here. This is below. This is just kind of how you operate the scoreboard. Keeps tracks of timeouts, scores up here. You can add by 2s and 3s and free throws individually. If we're at a school where we have everything set up to pull information from the Daktronics board, you click on the game clock to make the game clock show up. And then it will automatically update for you. So it'll automatically update the time for you if we have it plugged into the Daktronics machine at the school, but make sure you just hit this eyeball to have the game time actually show up down there, and it kind of does the rest for you. Set up the teams in these two tabs below. So starting with the away team, in our example, we'll have Shakopee playing the Lakeville North. You put the mascot in. This is the location, which sometimes shows up in a few of the graphics, so I type it in just in case. Panthers down here. Team abbreviation. Just do LN. Like, we don't need to put HS at the end of every school, personally. I mean, everybody is an HS. So I like to do LN and Shaco for those two. And I match the colors as much as possible with the jerseys that they're actually wearing on the court. You can put their record down here as well too. This will come up a little later. If you do want to put in starters, you do that here within the control panel tab. I'll put in kind of one name here, so we'll see how that kind of comes into play later. With some of our other optional graphics. Click the home tab to set the home team. We're going to have Lakeville North playing the Sabres at home. Also, I didn't do this for Lakeville North, but especially on this basketball graphic where it shows up, set a logo for the team by clicking this select file button. We're going to pick Shakopee's Block S, which matches nicely with the black. Lakeville North, we'll put their logo in here. Here we go. Then you can see the two logos showing up at the bottom there, and that looks good. We'll put in one starter here for Shakopee as well. And And that is good to go. So this is your scorebug. You could run the broadcast just fine from here. Image overlay we've talked about in several previous other tutorial videos. Download the one specific to the location of the school you're at. Again, you overlay and have it actually go out into the broadcast by hitting overlay. Clear wipes everything in terms of graphics on your screen. You can get a little creative and kind of split these two into sections. So if you want to have like one tab where it's the image overlay and the scorebug, you can go like that. And then when you want it to go away and just have it be the live read card, for example, you can hit clear and then overlay again. In this tab, I just have the image overlay. This tab, I just have the scorebug. We could do it similarly like this, where we could have the scoreboard and the image overlay as one option. And then when we're done doing our live read, we can go to just the scorebug and have that pop up. So you can alternate pretty seamlessly between the two here. So these are the three that you need to have. Other ones I recommend using that are optional just to spice up the graphics a little bit. Use the game intro, and the one I want you to use is this one called Flat Design. We also have a bunch of basketball-specific ones that you're welcome to explore and use as well. So I cleared this description. Look in the downloads just for basketball stuff. If you keep some stats during the game, you can throw them up there with team stats at halftime. Starting lineups, the one that I recommend using is this lineup here, which I'll use during my broadcast for basketball. That's pretty much it. I'm going to pull up a starting lineup to show you how that looks. Maybe team stats you could possibly use. Here is the lineup. You saw earlier how I put one starter in for each team. You can see like how that comes into play here. You use the lineup graphic to switch between home and away, and you can see the one name I put in for each team showing up there for using lineups at the start. The team stats, if you want to put anything up at halftime of stuff you tracked, you can type in any statistic that you want. We can make this flops if we wanted and put that in, but you can change any of these, and then you type in the value over here to do that. So that's an option if it's something you want to use. I definitely recommend using the lineup, but these first three that we went over are the main ones that you're going to be using. Oh, and I'll also show you too. This is the game intro that we want you to use. So start of the broadcast, instead of just showing the score bug with nothing on it and it being 0-0, we recommend you use this to start the broadcast as you'd be welcoming the viewers.